Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
That was a cool thing, yeah.
Yep, I'm ready. Welcome to a Couple More Minutes podcast, where two veterans of the animation and video game industry talk about exactly that, animation and video games. I am as one of your hosts. I am Jeff Gabor, and alongside me, as always, is
Pete Paquette.
All right, what's up, Pete?
What's up?
We are back with another Quantum Assurance episode, and this time we're going to look back at Little Samson.
Yes, we are.
But before we do that, every Quantum Assurance episode starts the same way, and that is we try to play our very popular fun game of Stump Pete, where I play 3 retro video game songs and clues, and we try to get Pete to guess which game we're talking about. This time I'm going to mix it up and not necessarily restrict myself to the 40, 35, and 20 whatever years ago. We're just going to mix it up. We're just going to go, okay? Does that sound all right with you, Pete?
That's fine. Let's do this.
All right. This April 1990 game is a sequel to a popular run-and-gun game style, and it stars the characters Bill Reiser and Lance Bean.
I don't know.
All right. It features this music.
Oh,
Nailed it, buddy. All right. And for those playing along, our last clue would be its predecessor popularized the up, down, left, right BA start code, also known as the Contra code or Konami code, because yes, this is Super C. Nice job, Pete.
Do you know that code was actually for Gradius?
Yeah. It's. I mean, it started with great. That's why I've never actually called it the Contra code.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it works with several other games as well.
I think Life Force is one of them.
Yeah. I think there's some variation of it that works on Turtles, if I remember right. Like, it's not exactly that, but it's similar. Anyways, I'd have to look that up. All right. Game number 2. July 1995. Konami, again, brings the second installment to the SNES of this popular franchise. Now, this is not the second game in the franchise, but the second one on the SNES. Features this sensational music. I feel like the SNES ones are always a little tougher, but let's see if you recognize it.
Oh, man. Is this Final Fight?
It's not Final Fight. I can see how you could say that, though. All right. This is the final clue. I think this will hopefully give it away. This was originally a PC Engine game known as Rondo of Blood.
Oh, so that's Castlevania X.
That's right, yeah. Dracula X. You got it, man. Nice job. All right, our final game. We're stretching a little bit further into the future where it starts getting a little hazy for Pete. All right. This new franchise is a collectathon. Was released in 1998 to critical acclaim for the Nintendo 64 by Rare. And it features this music.
Is it
You got it, man. You got it. I didn't think you were going to get that one. For those playing at home, the last clue would be features an unlikely pairing of a bear and an annoying red bird that he carries in his backpack. And yes, Pete is correct. It is Banjo-Kazooie. I played the F out of this game. Man, did I love it.
I wish I could say the same. I never played it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like you were gone away on your missions there. So I don't think that was quite what your boys were playing together.
Yeah, we
I
played a lot of GoldenEye.
Yeah, I don't think Banjo-Kazooie exactly has that military vibe. Definitely not. All right, man. Good job. You got all three. Perfect. Let's move on to our little news section. I don't know if you saw, but maybe this has been announced for a long time, but I never saw it. But they're making another Super Meat Boy, but this time it's all in 3D.
Yeah, I saw that. It's interesting.
It is interesting. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I kind of don't like it.
I know, and I'm trying to like reserve judgment because I know it's like just feeling a little old and crotchety. But when it comes to like that, the original game is like so fun because it's so precise, pixel perfect jumps and maneuvering, and you feel real cool when you get it done. I mean, it was known as just being brutally hard, but it requires really, really precise movement. And as soon as you get like the perspective issue playing along with like the 3D, I don't know. I mean, I saw some people talking about how they lowered the difficulty a bit, and it was probably for that reason. It's just when you get all the 3D stuff moving around, I don't know.
Well, yeah, it looked kind of sloppy. Like, no pun intended. It looked kind of sloppy. Like the movements and stuff they didn't feel precise.
Well, I mean, some of that was in the original Super Meat Boy where you kind of like were sliding around a lot, but I don't know. It worked for that game. So I don't know if I'm going to pick it up. I guess we'll see what other games are hovering around at that same time. I'd be definitely curious to check it out, but I don't know. We'll see. In other news, that there's a really cool game that has been teased for like the last 3 years, and it sounds like it may actually be released in 2026, and there's going to be an update in the next couple weeks. But it is called Mouse PI for Hire. And I don't know if you remember seeing the videos of this, but it's so cool because it looks like Max Fleischer, like Betty Boop, Rubber Hose type animation.
Yeah,
But it's all a first person Doom shooter.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like at least a good laugh.
Yeah, the article you sent out was by IGN.
Yeah.
And they called it a boomer shooter. It's like, what? What the fuck is a boomer shooter?
Like boomer as in like we're boomers?
Yeah. Like, how does that make any fucking sense?
I don't know about that. I don't like that phrase at all. Because one, we're not even remotely close to being boomers. We're about 40 years off. All right.
Yeah.
But I guess
I looked into it. There's an entire genre that they call boomer shooters.
All right. Well, I don't like that term. So I just caught the stupidest side news. They just thought it was weird. But Hallmark is putting out a Christmas ornament that is basically a miniature sculpt of Master Chief from Halo 3 with the Halo 3 Xbox 360.
I mean, you must really have to like Halo 3 to...
Oh my God.
To purchase that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be 20 years on now since that game. And I don't know, I'd be highly embarrassed to have that hanging on my Christmas tree. Super weird. So I don't know who that's for. In sad news, Drew Stutson passed away. He was like the movie poster guy. Like when you think of movie posters, it's him. That's him. Like all those classic, like highly realistic, but really cool compositions of like, you know, just taking a lot of different parts of a movie and like composing it all together. So you're talking Star Wars, and you're talking Blade Runner, and you're talking Indiana Jones, and I think I already said Back to the Future. But anyways, it goes on and on. Harry Potter, blah 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 blah. He's super prolific. Sad to see his artwork go, but man, it's sad to say, but one of my thoughts was like, there must be an entire like AI learning, whatever they call it, like just based on his artwork alone. Like they must have just funneled his artwork, because I bet you can put his name into any one of the AI engines and it's like, oh, it knows exactly the style you're talking about.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate reality.
Yeah. PlayStation is going to stop supporting PlayStation 4. And it was funny when I first read the article, I was like, "Oh man, already?" But
Yeah, but that was
it's
already a while ago.
it's like, oh yeah, I guess they probably should. It's
Yeah.
old. The PlayStation 4 is old. So I guess coming in next year's springtime, they're gonna basically start to just like make sure the new games don't actively like they're not supported by the old APIs. So so that there goes that. You're gonna start or like, if you have the PS4, you're not gonna be able to play as many games anymore. That or at least the new ones. But it has been some time. Like I think that's to be expected.
It makes me wonder if I should go through all my physical copies of PS4 games and load them up and update them before they shut down.
It's interesting. I would think. Well, I don't know. I don't know how things work anymore. That's probably smart. I would guess that they seem to be talking about only new games, and that all old games, at least through next year, will be still supported. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't take my chances. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think I only have one game, a PS4 game. I think the only PS4 game I have is Spider-Man. Everything else I bought digitally.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a wall of PS4 games.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, so that's probably better for you then to maybe just make sure, or at least do a Google search and see if there's anything with that reality of possibly needing to update games.
Yeah.
Well, that's the news, Pete. I don't know, unless you found anything else that kind of came across your eyes.
Well, Wada Games is no longer.
Oh yeah, that's a big one, huh?
Yeah, because I have a bunch of Wada games. And then, like, so what it is that they got bought out, and there was the company called PSA, I think it's called, that will be doing the grading from now on. And in order for your Wada game to maintain its grading, what's the word I'm looking for?
Value, yeah.
Yeah, its value or
grade, yeah.
Yeah. In order for it to do that, you have to send your Wada game in, and then they repackage it for you.
Oh God.
And
No
it
way,
costs
man.
and it costs like $20 a game. Which doesn't seem like much, right? But like imagine if you bought like one of these games for like $50,000.
Yep.
You'd have to like go through the process of like insuring it and like sending it in the mail and making sure it's all like perfect before it goes out.
Yeah,
You know?
well, and the pending lawsuit towards WADA, a lot of it is about how their turnaround time is super long. Like they promise a turnaround time, of I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but let's just say 3 months. But it ended up being significantly longer than that, and so you just end up, some important parts of your collection just end up being gone for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 or 7 Wada games, graded games, because I wanted to get
cool.
The games that I worked on. I wanted to get graded copies of them.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
So, like I got one for BioShock Infinite and Gladius and.
Man, that is one thing. Like, just to peel the curtain back a little bit. I've never said where I work, and I won't. I still won't. But I work on a live service game, and that I don't get to have that. Like, oh, we released a game, and you like have a physical copy of it, and like you can get it signed or graded. It's like, oh man, I wish I had a little bit of that feeling, because that's really cool to have like a collection of your own games.
Yeah, I've worked for a couple live service games. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you, Jeff Gabor.
Live service is hard, man, because it's just it's like a crunch that never ends.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens with WADA, the lawsuit. I'd be very scared to send my games in. That's for sure.
Yeah, and my games are like the one that I paid the most for was Gladius, which was around $350. So like, is it worth it to me to like really like is that sticker worth it to me? I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Not even with the reputation of WADA right now. Today's not the time to go and feel like there is an actual value to that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it. Yeah. All right, Pete. When we come back after playing a little music, we are gonna take a look at Taito's Little Samson. Does that sound good?
sounds good to me.
Welcome to the hearings of the Quantum Assurance Board, where we have been sent back in time to make right what once went wrong and determine for all time whether Taito's Little Samson game deserves the Nintendo seal of quality it boasted to earn. Oh boy, we got a good one here, Pete.
Yes, we do.
Little Samson. We have talked about it ad nauseum about this game, but it is the crowning jewel in most people's like Nintendo collection, or it is their white whale. This is a big game for people to try to collect if they're Nintendo collectors.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's one of the top 3, I'd say.
Yep. And why is that, do you think?
Well, because one, it was released so late in the Nintendo release period, and they probably didn't release many of them because of the sort of biblical overtones it has.
Well, I was going to say it's also extremely sought after just because it's actually good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So you got, low inventory meets high demand, and then you get a craze. Like, this is what people want. It's not, there is stadium events. Now, stadium events will cost you tens of thousands of dollars to get that, but that is purely only because it is rare, not because it's good. Not even close because it's good. You didn't.
No.
It's a power pad game. It's like, no. All right, so Little Samson, and that's what it's funny. You called it you mentioned the biblical overtones. The game has nothing to do with Samson. Like, it's crazy. I thought the same thing. I saw the cover of the game. I remember being in the video store and being like, I am renting that. Like, because I really did think it was like, another like, Bible tree type. What were those games called?
Oh, Wisdom Tree.
Wisdom Tree games. Yeah, the Wisdom Tree games. I really did. Like, I thought I was like, oh, no way
This
am I playing that.
So far from a Wisdom Tree game.
So far, yeah. The game stars 4 heroes, and they're summoned, and it's interesting how the story's told in game because it's basically all visual. There's no really like text or anything. And you're summoned by this king, and you're going to stop the demon king Takid from wreaking havoc on this on the kingdom of 4G. And that is all you need to really know of how cool this game is. That you have 4 individual cool characters that are vastly different in their abilities, and then you go through the game.
I like how in the very beginning, when the king was like kind of putting you all together using the magic bell, how the dragon refused.
Yes, it's such a cool story moment.
Yeah,
because this dragon comes off as this guy. He's like unwillingly going on this like adventure. It's like this is not his fight to fight. That's the feeling I get. And you at that moment when he refuses, you're still playing as Samson, which is like the human character, and you gotta sit there and fight the dragon. It's like what? I one moment you are the dragon, and you're playing as him, or you're playing as this mouse, or you're playing as this like rock monster.
Guy.
Yeah, rock. I mean, the closest thing is like the Thing from Fantastic Four. Like it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So you get but it's cool. Then you switch to fighting the dragon. So cool.
It is an interesting thing to think about, though, because maybe the dragon didn't want to go on a fight because he would have to fight other dragons.
It's true. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could think about, like why he didn't. I just got the feeling that he was kind of this like loner, badass kind of like character, and he was just like, I don't want to fight your fight. I don't know why I need to get involved. But yeah, so you fight him, you win, and he ends up reluctantly saying, all right, fine, like I'll go in the bell and be part of your squad. And then from that, so that's what's also cool. The game starts where you have to almost go and recruit the 4 characters. So it's like, all right, I'm going to go choose the little Samson level. Then I'm going to go get the mouse. Then I'm going to go get the rock guy. And you don't get to actually swap between the characters during those levels. But once you have done that and you go to the king, you fight the dragon, you're all in the bell spell thingy, then you can at any moment during the game, any moment, you just hit pause and you get to switch. It's so cool.
Yeah, and it's not like, well, it is kind of like Ninja Turtles in that respect. For just to illustrate it even further, it's like the very first Ninja Turtles where you would switch between characters.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
So, with the big difference being that you can actually level up each character, and you can actually give them like potions and to give them health.
Yep. Yeah,
Ninja Turtles, you're on your own.
Yeah, and I mean, they do have different abilities, the turtles, but they were all like melee type weapons. This is much different. Like each character, like the mouse is like an 8x8 sprite, and then you got your big Goliath, but that's like a 16 or 16x16 feels like sprite. It's much larger, and so they fit into different areas. They do different things. They can some characters can get where other characters can't get, which forces you to swap. And it's very smart how it's all done.
No, I was just gonna say I made the mistake of actually like clinging on to Samson and playing mostly with him because I enjoyed not only did I enjoy his control, but I enjoyed his music.
Yeah, to talk about the music, it's a very interesting choice for the vast majority of the game. You're left with 4 different soundtracks that go with the corresponding 4 different characters. So you swap the character, you get that character's theme song, which is an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever seen a video game do that before.
Yeah, I know. It's usually the music is like tied to the levels.
Yeah, and later in the game, it does actually break out of that rhythm. Thankfully too, I'm glad it eventually breaks out of it, because like those 4 songs, and especially if you get you cling onto one of those characters like you did with Samson, then you're only listening to one soundtrack for a lot of the game. But at least it sounds good, right?
Oh yeah, it sounds great. I would say my favorite being the Samson track, my least favorite being the Goliath track.
Yeah. But it's still not bad, though.
No, it's not terrible. It's just not. It's not as upbeat.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't feel like it matches the game all that well.
No.
But yeah, this composer. You wrote a little stuff about the composer, right?
Yoshiji Yokoyama and Yuki Marikawa. Both worked on Nostalgia 1907 for the Sega CD in 1991. And Yoshiji worked on Kokoron 1991 on the NES.
Kokoron. What the heck is that game?
I think it was a European release, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I don't know that one.
I could be wrong. Sorry, no, Famicom. 1991 Famicom action platformer, known for its unique character creation system, where players combine different heads, bodies, and weapons to build their hero.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah. Man, the Famicom got so many games that we never got. Like, they're well into the thousands of games over there. So, yeah. Very interesting what games.
You imagine collecting for that? That'd be crazy.
It would be. That's why nobody does it. I mean, I guess some people do it, but they're madmen. Like, it's like, because then you're talking about the disc system as well, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to just strip it and not do that.
I have about 10 disc system games because I got is it called the Turbo Duo? I forget what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But it's made by Sharp, and it has like a Famicom slot, and it's like one unit, and it has a Famicom slot and a disc system slot in it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I heard the disc system games are really hard to get working. Like the tape reader ends up breaking.
Yeah, you have to get it the bands replaced on the spinners.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that. Ain't no way. So those were the designers, right, of the game?
That was the audio designers.
Oh, cool. Okay, all right. Cool. Yeah, overall I loved every part about the sound design in this game. Really amazing.
Yeah. The only thing, my only nitpick thing that I have to say about it is that if you pause and you are on, and it's designed to where when you pause and you unpause, it starts the music over again from the beginning.
Yep.
So you could be in a situation where you don't change your character, and then the music just kind of like starts over the same exact music. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because like there's times where you're going into that same menu just to take a potion, or just take a break, or just pause for a second. And yeah, it's unfortunate that they reset the music on that command. Like I will say there's a handful of that kind of stuff throughout the game where it's like they just didn't quite polish it to the very nth degree, but it's just doesn't matter that much because the rest of the game is so charming.
Yeah.
What did you think about the overall graphics?
I loved the graphics. Everything felt designed like with everything else in mind.
Yep.
You know,
it is some of the most highly detailed backgrounds, even like the opening, and like just like mountains and trees and clouds, and it is unbelievable. Like,
how about the crab? Did you see the crab?
I don't know. The crab?
You would have had to lose.
Oh, I didn't lose.
To the second. You would have had to lose. Not lose. You would have had to fall off the waterfall from the second boss, and you would end up in a cavern underneath the ground. And there's this crab that you ride. It's huge.
Oh my god! I'm looking at it right now.
It looks
is that detailed? It doesn't look like a cartoon crab. That looks like the most realistic depicted, crazy looking Goliath crab. That is so cool. Spikes, and it's got the like little mouth pinchers, and just looks like wet and gross. Wow, that is cool.
Yeah, that for me was like one of the highlights of the game. Actually,
Oh
was that
man,
crab.
I should go and take a dive. Go check it out.
Yeah,
I didn't know it. I was shocked to see how many like branching different choices there are in the game. Like even we were going back and forth, and I first played the game all the way through easy on easy mode just to try to get through the game, and then realized there's a whole continuation which isn't totally uncommon, but you put it on the harder difficulty and the game just keeps on going. It's so cool. There's so many extra bonus content, and I feel like that's where the game actually even gets really good after the where the original easy mode ends and the other game starts. It gets pretty crazy. I really dug it.
I didn't beat it. I didn't beat the normal. Like I couldn't do it, but I did beat the easy.
I mean, you still got to enjoy all the graphics and the animation too. Like every time Samson jumps, yeah, oh my god, it's just so good.
It feels so amazing that it's part of a game engine.
Yeah.
Like that the animation is part of a game engine. You know what I mean?
A couple of things that stood out for me was Samson's jump. He does like a 360 twirl each time he jumps, and it just feels really cool, I think. And then there's like the bad guy that keeps coming up. He's like this hooded, cloaked guy, Takid. And every time he comes, he like has this like very interesting vamping type of like swirl motion, and the animation is just super cool. Like if for 8-bit animation, like it just feels so nostalgic and so well done. Man, it's cool.
Yeah, I was watching him do that, and I was like, man, how would I do something like that? Like,
Yeah, right.
freaking very difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of those kind of like cool effects and big sprites at times. Like you just had me look up that crab. That sprite's huge. And there's other enemies and bosses, and they're all like that. And then you even have like little cute things. Like the mouse is super small, but there's a ton of characters. Similar to like we were talking about with Panic Restaurant, every little character is designed and feels real and feels like there's no doubt at what it is. So many of the Nintendo games that, don't really hold up. It's like, what were they trying to depict there? Or you have some just like random lined character like Solar Jetman where it's like, what is that enemy? I don't know. It's like a couple shapes strung together. But this is every character is emotive and cool.
And again, it reminded me a lot of a Capcom game like Chip 'n Dale's or DuckTales.
Mm-hmm. It moves like it for sure. Like very, very twitchy and fast and responsive, but still feels tight. Yeah, really cool. And just to talk about like some of the controls of the characters, that's where the game gets also really cool in that like each one of those 4 characters is designed with brand new different mechanics. So you got Samson, he's like your Mega Man, right? He's jumping and he's shooting straight ahead. But they even added wall gripping.
Yeah.
And like wall hanging and wall climbing, which is very crazy. I will say that was a bit of a learning curve. I don't know how it was for you.
That was a learning curve. That was a little bit of a pain in the ass.
I kept having this problem because they made the choice that like if you want to hug the side of a wall, you have to hit the jump button again while holding against the wall. Otherwise, you'll just slide down. But if you want to jump on the ceiling, it'll automatically cling you to the ceiling. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Yeah, because I kept being like, wait, why doesn't it just automatically cling me to a wall? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what would have been wrong with the game if it didn't. I don't know. I feel like there was a way to make it automatically cling because it works completely fine for Ninja Gaiden, right?
Yeah, and Batman.
Yeah. So I feel like they should have gone that way, given that that's what they did with the ceiling as well. So I kept dying because I would forget to hit the re-cling, and so I would like fall an awful lot. So I was having problems with that.
I was gonna say another thing I wasn't a huge fan of was the control of the dragon when he's flying.
It was hard. It was hard. I would have much preferred like a flapping and just, trying to keep him airborne by like tapping the button, just like I don't know. It's just like your tapping of the button would be like a wing flap, but instead you kind of hold down the jump, like any other, Mario character has a variable jump height based on how long you hold the jump button down. But then once you decide where that flight height is, you just then re-hit the jump button, and that locks you into that height to fly forward for any amount of time. Well, not any amount of time. You can only fly for so long. But then you can never go up again.
It's so weird.
Yeah, so it's like once you pick your height, you then have to stay at the height until you hit grand again. And you end up screwing yourself over a lot.
I got killed so many times.
Yeah.
You remember that one room where they give you they must have known that it was extremely difficult because they give you
a 1-up right at the beginning, right?
1-up right at the beginning.
I knew you were going to talk about that level. Screw that level.
That level was so difficult.
Yeah.
And I tried to do it with a dragon and I die. I ended up using Samson, and I'd climb and go down and around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would jump off as the rock man and then walk on the spikes for a little bit and then do it all over again.
Yeah.
I saw people do it with a dragon. I tried it with a dragon. I couldn't do it.
It's super. I ditched the dragon too. I couldn't do it because I would end up screwing myself by going to a height where then I couldn't get back up and I would die. I would just like have to fall to my death. But just to like talk about this room, it's a large room, scrolling room, like a Mario type thing, but it's got like disappearing and reappearing blocks. And now you can always stand on them. It's not like the Kaizo blocks from Mega Man where it's like once they disappear, they're gone. But it's just like you don't know where they are. So they appear, they reappear, they appear, they reappear. But the whole time there's these enemies firing at you. And that's one thing I was going to say. Thank goodness. This is one of those games where it would have been infuriating if they would have had serious knockback. And they don't.
Oh, yes.
I was like, what? No knockback?
Thank goodness for that.
So because you're trying to do these like, you're trying to jump on a single tile and then you get hit. And thankfully the game developers were kind enough not to knock you back to where you would fall off the platform. You would mostly stay where you were. And it was so nice. It was so welcome because the game's not easy. But if they would have added knockback during those sections, it would have made it unplayable.
Yep.
So really good on them for that. But
that room is one of the hardest rooms in the game.
It is by far. Yeah. That game, it tried my patience for sure.
Yeah. I don't know why they did it so soon. It was like, what was it, like the third level?
Yeah, it's not deep into the game at all, but it definitely tests you. And then the game, for the most part, just ends up being a very linear game after that. You just kind of go up and down and around, and it's like you know exactly where to go, and you just blast the enemies, and it's not difficult. And like one thing you pointed out, which is so cool, is there's like large sections of spikes, like any other platformer game. You get used to this like cliche of spikes, but yeah, you turn to the rock guy and you can just walk on him, and that's so cool.
Yep.
And the mouse, it sounds like you didn't use the mouse all that much. And
I used the mouse. The only time I used the mouse was when I was fighting the swirly wizard.
So you caught on to that too. Yeah.
Because he is powerful.
Yeah.
That little mouse packs a punch.
So at first, like you think this little mouse's weapon sucks because he basically he just drops these little like white pellets that explode. You don't get to like it doesn't shoot. It's not a trajectory of any sort on these objects. You basically just lay these little eggs wherever you want. You can jump and you can spray a whole bunch of them, but they almost do frame by frame damage for enemies that are in there. So like for however long they explode, maybe it's like a second, maybe less. But for every frame tick of that, it does damage. So you lay down 30 of these or 4 of these bombs on that swirly guy, and you just watch his life drain. It's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. Cool. Yeah. I was wondering if you caught on to that, but yeah, I ended up using the mouse for all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, go little mouse. It's so cool. The other thing he's good for though is he can walk on any wall and like up and down, around to the side, and he ends up. It's like Blaster Master, like your little like vehicle that can just like traverse over all different terrains and up and down and left and right. So he can like really haul some serious tish, and it can be pretty fun. But his life, he has so little life. He can only take a couple hits and then he's toast.
Yeah, he does. He is pretty weak.
Oh man, so the big difference between easy and normal mode is if you die with any one of the characters except Samson, you lose that character as an option for the remainder of that level.
Remainder of the level.
Yeah, so you beat the level, all four come back as an option, which is
I see.
like another very nice dev thing to do, because they could have just been like, "Oh, he's dead," like Ninja Turtles, right? It's like, well, if Donnie's dead, he's dead unless you can find one of the very rare parts in the game where you can like collect them back. Yeah, at least at the end of the level, if you live, they all come back with full health. Except this is where it gets crazy. So when you finish where the original easy mode ends, there's a floating skull island that you go to, and there's all these new levels. For all those levels, you only care if your character dies, not being Samson, that character's gone for the remainder of the game. It's like, oh snap! Like you do, like it ends up being a strat that if you feel like you're about to die, you make sure you switch to Samson. That way you don't lose any of your characters. But when you restart, their life bar is remembered. So if they were nearly dead, they're still nearly dead when you restart. So the game goes just crazy difficult at that moment. So I ended up having to like farm a bunch just to try to get these guys' health back. And I didn't know that they were going to be dead forever. So I lost my mouse and I lost the dragon pretty early on. And I was like, well, they're gone. So it was just the rock guy and Samson for the remainder of the game.
The rock guy is pretty powerful too.
He's a tank, right? So he can take a beating, and then he wails. Like every hit he does is like 3 or 4 hits of what Samson does.
Yeah.
So I really liked him. Yeah. But that's the thing. Is like man, we've been talking about so many of the games lately, new games and old games. The thing that I really like the most about all the games that we're really like complimenting is the feeling of freedom, that you get to be creative in how you want to play the game. And that's what this game really does. You get 4 characters that play super different, and they're all charming in their own way, and you just get to like play the game how you want. It doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't tell you. It's very clear there are certain sections that are better for other characters, but you don't have to use them.
Yeah.
So cool. Speaking of fun factor, once I got used to the controls and the climbing and the grappling, the game became like top NES game. Like this is as good as it gets on the NES.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought too. It's as good as it gets.
And unlike Panic Restaurant, this game actually has some depth to it, and some like you're not going to just finish it and in 20 minutes like you are Panic Restaurant. Like Panic Restaurant is a short game. It's super fun, super creative, but it is not that deep of a game. This one actually has some longevity to it. It's really, you could play it multiple times over, play it with different characters, and there's a lot of extra levels. Like I didn't even see that crab. I played the game a ton. I didn't ever even see stupid crab. So there's definitely stuff in the game that's probably still I haven't seen. It's worth playing for sure.
No, it's. I had a feeling you didn't see the crab.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because you're a bastard, and you win everything.
Damn it. Sometimes, see, there's times like this where I'm cursed. I never get to see the bad endings to anything. Cursed. Oh, man. But yeah, I loved this game. It was so good. There is absolutely no way I could ever say this game doesn't deserve the Nintendo seal of quality. Not even a joke. Like, this game, like, is a perfect NES game.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and give it the approval.
Yep.
All right, let's make it official. The Quantum Assurance Board hereby finds you worthy of your Nintendo seal of quality and thus deems you a crowning jewel in the NES library to be revered for all time. Go and play little Samson with power. Nintendo power.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Oh boy, that really was a good game.
What are we gonna do next?
Well, I don't know what the next Quantum Assurance Board is, but we're coming up on Halloween. I'm gonna try to provoke you that our next episode, whether it comes in time for Halloween or not, you give us our top 6 spooky games to play.
On the NES?
On anything. You just go. Just games to play that, like, I'm not going to tell you what to put on your list, but I would highly suggest Infernax. I think that's a great game to have on there.
That is a great game to have on there.
So I think that's something to look forward to. We'll keep chugging away. We'll find another game to take a look at for our Quantum Assurance Board, and maybe we'll announce that on the next episode. But yeah, as always, it's good to do these episodes with you, Pete.
Likewise, my friend.
You can always reach us at acouplemoreminutes@gmail.com. Tell a friend. Give us a listen. We appreciate everybody that's listening in now. And I think there's a lot of people that still don't know that we started the podcast up again. So if you know a person that used to listen to a few more minutes and doesn't maybe know that a couple more minutes is going on, let them know. Give them a little poke and say, hey, they're doing their thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Pete. Thanks for joining me as always.
My pleasure.
All right. This has been A Couple More Minutes podcast where two veterans of the animation and video game industry talk about exactly that, animation and video games. Peace out, everybody.
See you later.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.